welcome to another lockdown video from my kitchen today. My hair's getting longer, but you know, we just have to keep pushing on. I'm not gonna shave my head, I'm determined not to. So what are we doing in my kitchen today? Well, obviously when this all started there was lots of panic buying. There are still people out there that are sort of binge buying and wasting a lot of food. I've only bought during this time what I would generally normally buy. There's been a couple of exceptions where like I bought maybe a couple of extra things, like I bought a couple of bottles of wine, because it's not a case of if you fancy a glass of wine you can just go out and get one. So I've bought some and kept it in the fridge, but other than that I pretty much kept my shopping down to the usual bits and pieces. So this is what we're going to talk about today. Some food. So I'm just going to take you around my kitchen. So this is my cooker. And at the moment I'm using my cooker top to pretty much prepare everything, because I would normally use my table, but I haven't sorted a shelf out for my bedroom yet because I need a piece of wood 7 foot by 1 foot wide. So this is all still here. And then my work side is not, as you can see, particularly large, so that's why I would normally use the table. But let's move on from that. So the lighting in here isn't very good. I've got 2 big lights on there because of by the window. The lighting in this bit isn't great, so apologies for that. So, like I said, I have not really bought any more than I would normally. I mean, looking here, this is sort of like where I keep all of my dry food and stuff. I've got some bread here, got fruit, eggs, pickled onions. Don't know why I can't stop eating these things. I may be pregnant. Tuna, mushy peas, potatoes, pasta sauces. Down here you've got beans and some soup, and my tea bags, some rice. I mean, the rice, the pasta sauces I've had for a while. Some of these are actually past best before, but they're still usable. It's not used by, it's best before, so it just means it may not be quite as good as it used to be. So don't be afraid to use stuff that says best before. If it's best before, it's still going to be edible. Don't forget that. Food and everything, I mean, I go shopping once every 2 weeks, and this will last just about that long. Up here I've got what I have for breakfast. I have porridge with a banana on it, and I've got some honey in the fridge. It's just about making the best. I mean, people often have things like tuna in their house and their cupboards and things, you know, so you know, it's there, you might as well use it. I mean, I've been having sort of some tuna, cheese, mayo, sticking it in the sandwich, popping it in a panini maker for a few minutes. Great toasty. So I've got some pasta there that I've had for ages. Tuna pasta, I've got sauces. It's just simple things, just making the most of what you've got, you know, and sort of rediscovering things that you may have bought a while ago and just not used. You know, you thought at some point, oh, I fancy that, but then sort of you haven't really used it. And again, what I've been finding is my love of stuff I used to eat when I was at college. So, you know, tomato soup with a bit of black pepper in and some bread, beans on toast. I had that the other week. I used to live off that when I was in college, and it's just like, you know, oh, actually, I'm enjoying this. You know, it's not you know, negative. It's, you know, it's about finding the you know, the positives and thinking about things you've had in the past, or finding new and creative ways to use food as well. So have a look at what you've got in your cupboard, what you've got in your fridge, what you've got in your freezer, and see what you can make out of it. Try new things. Why not? Try old things you haven't had for ages, and you'll probably find that, you know, there are things that you're like, actually, yeah, I used to love eating this back when. Excuse me. So yeah, you know, I'm not really, you know, bought any more than I would normally. It's all just usual stuff. So I'll have a look in the fridge and the freezer as well, see what's in there. I mean, one of the things I have bought one of the things I have bought, because I've always got chicken in the freezer as well, is some of these old El Paso dinner kits. Now these are quite good, because I mean, if you're a family of 4, then it'll do for a meal. If you're sort of 1 or 2 people, then it'll do for a couple of meals. I mean, what I would actually advise is don't buy the packs, buy all the bits individually, because in these you just basically get the tortillas, which aren't very big, the sauces and spices, and then you have to add obviously the chicken, onion, well basically most of the actual food content to it. And these are okay, they're a bit pricey though, so you are, I would say, better buying a spice pack if you want the salsa and the tortillas separately, and it'll work out a bit cheaper, and you can get slightly bigger tortillas if you buy supermarket ones as well, because you'll generally find they're a bit bigger than these ones, which are a bit on the small side. But certainly if you're a single person or a couple, you know, that's 2 days worth of food in, you know, there, unless of course you know you're like me. No, actually I didn't eat the one in one go. Excuse me, I promise. But yeah, so you know, it's just about, I mean, I don't make lists when I go shopping. I'll have an idea of things I don't want, so I'll know if I don't need toiletries this week or cleaning stuff, or if I don't need cheese or whatever, that I don't need to go down those aisles. But I'll, you know, sort of carefully have an idea of what I want in my mind when I do go round, so I'm not sort of taking up too much time while I'm in the supermarket. But again, because of my memory and that, lists and things don't always work for me because I'll forget to put things on. But, you know, there we go. So if you have a look in my fridge, obviously got lots of milk, there's my honey, I've got yogurts in here, just sort of have one a day off. I've got lots of salad down here and some ham and stuff for sandwiches. Here is what I had for dinner yesterday, which is the enchiladas, so that's dinner again tonight. I'll have that cold this evening, and I did the same when I did the fajitas as well. I had those one day, and then I had the other half the second day. So it's just about obviously making the best use of the food that you do have. So now we'll just go through the freezer. So I'll have a look in the freezer. I actually have two freezers, a slightly bigger one, and then the one that comes as part of my fridge, which is a bit smaller. I ended up having to get the bigger one when I lived in a house, and there's more of us, because it just wasn't quite enough when I was living with somebody. But this one still really isn't that big. But let's have a look. So down here, I've always got in the fridge, freezer is chicken. Got some sausages in there, and I've got some frozen veg. Frozen veg is always a good thing to have. Top drawer, 2 more packs of chicken, big pack of bacon. Obviously, you know, this is a good thing to have. I mean, on lots of supermarkets I'm sure do it. I get mine from Morrison. You should get 4 packs in here. Each pack has 8 rashers of bacon. So again, I've got something that I can add into my pasta to create carbonara or something. And then underneath there, we've got some lamb chops as well. But again, you know, each one of those, I can open those and make at least 2 meals out of it. So, you know, obviously because I'm living on my own, it's easy for me to do that. Obviously, if you're a family of 4, you're not going to be able to do that. But again, it's still just about making sure that you're using what you've got to the best way possible, and just coming up with the best ideas, you know, you can. And then finally there's this freezer, which is sort of normally my main freezer. So in the bottom there I've got a loaf of bread, 2 tubs of ice cream because it is getting warm. And here again I've got more chicken, got some fish, more fish, some fries, and some, forgot what they're called. Come on now, get a grip. Yorkshire puddings, mini Yorkshire puddings, which are actually out of date, but they're good frozen, they'll be fine. And then up here we've got lots more frozen veg and some ice cubes. So again, you know, so there we go. So there's lots of things that I can do with the stuff that I've got there. So like I say, it's just about making the most of what, you know, you have got in your freezer. There's no need to overbuy. You know, it is a worrying time, but just be smart about what you're buying, what you're using, how you're cooking it, how you're storing it. Most things you can freeze, don't forget that. Just remember, when you do go shopping next, think about what you've already got. Think about what you're going to use. Don't overspend, don't overbuy. It's not necessary. There is going to be food. Supermarkets are doing the best that they can. You know, deliveries are available for a lot of people, especially if you are in one of the at-risk categories. And just make sure you do know what you've got in your cupboard. what you've got in your freezer, what you've got in the fridge, what you can use, what you can reuse, and have a go at some new meal ideas, or even go back to those college days and have some beans on toast or some soup. Because trust me, when you think, how do I, but you go back and you do that and you'll be like, actually, you know what, I've missed this a little bit. So it's great. So don't fear doing those things, and just make the most of what you have got at home. And just remember, if it is used by, that is the date that you have to use it by. So make sure you're not letting food go to waste. If it's best before, you can use it after that date. It does not mean it's not edible. It just means that there could be a slight dip in the quality. Doesn't mean that there will be. It's just they put that on there because it's a possibility. So I'm going to go off now and think of what I can do with all these pasta sauces. So thanks for your time, and I'll see you next time.
Jet plane headed up to the sky, spread wings and the clouds getting